With a little influence from Duckworth and Lewis and a lot from Chris Rushworth, Phil Mustard and Scott Borthwick, Durham defeated Hampshire by 6 wickets with 16 balls to spare to leapfrog their opponents by moving to the top of Group B in this year's Yorkshire YB40. Put in by Mark Stoneman, Hampshire made nothing more than a steady start in this top-of-the-table clash, with James Vince the first man out in the 6th over as he drove Rushworth to Stoneman at mid-off. Vince left with a score on 23 and 13 runs later, Rushworth was celebrating again as Michael Carberry scooped to pull off his glove to Graham Onions to depart for 20. Carberry was hurt too and headed off for an x-ray on his thumb. The Dynamos had won their last 3 40-over contests since losing to Hampshire in a thriller by 5 wickets a month ago. The visitors here had lost only once in 6 games this summer and they had no need to panic as Neil Mackenzie and Jimmy Adams tried to get the innings moving. They took the total to 70 in the 19th over, only to then lose Mackenzie, who was LBW on the paddle, to Paul Collingwood for 18. All of the batsmen had made a start but had failed to go on, which was something that Adams now needed to do. These, though, were his only boundaries in a 50-ball stay, as the disciplined Durham attack gave very little away. They are a very confident side in all forms of cricket right now. And they were back in a huddle again after Collingwood had Adams caught in the deep by Ben Stokes, a wicket which left the visitors to the Emirates Durham International Cricket Ground on 112 for 4, with only 13 overs remaining. So someone needed to grab the bull by its horns for the Royals, and that man was Liam Dawson, who'd seen his side over the line in the reverse fixture. He soon got moving by superbly sweeping Collingwood over the square leg boundary for a 6. He received some decent support from Sean Irvine, who helped Dawson at a half-century partnership in 7 overs. But then the Zimbabwean opened the face too much and squeezed a shot off Rushworth to Will Smith after making 33. Adam Wheater, who hit a ferocious 70 in his side's important win over Derbyshire last week, had made only 8 this time when he gave Smith a wicket in what was the bowler's only over, which, as it happens, cost only 1 run as well. That left Hampshire with work to do off the final 27 deliveries. The total had only reached 177 for 6, but with Dawson still looking in brilliant form, there were still chances of adding plenty to that. He finished off the 37th over by planting 2 length deliveries from Stokes over the ropes to race to a 50 off only 37 balls. Only 5 runs were scored off the 38th over though, and then at the start of the penultimate one, Dimitri Mascarenhas was bowled by Stokes for 4 at 199 for 7. The total read 214 for 7 with 1 over left, and Dawson helped the first 2 deliveries of that final over, delivered by Rushworth, to the boundary, but then the bowler exacted his revenge with 2 more wickets. On an excellent 69, which had been made off only 46 deliveries, Dawson sent the ball flying high to Onions, while Chris Wood was bowled first up as Rushworth ended with the fine figures of 5 for 42, only the second time he's grabbed a fifer in this competition. Hampshire ended on a rather disappointing 224 for 9, even though 93 had come off the last 10 overs. That left Durham with a run rate of 5.6 per over to get to confirm their 5th one-day win from 8 games this summer. However, they got off to the worst possible start as Stoneman was bowled by Sohail Tanvir with the 3rd ball of the reply. But Hampshire then didn't help themselves in the field after that ideal start. Mustard was dropped on 11 at slip by Irvine off Tanvir, and Borthwick was missed on 12 when Vince spilled a chance off his own bowling. Both catches would have been held on most days by such talented fielders. A brief shower with the score on 55 for 1 in the 13th over then reduced the target to 218 in 38, but that made absolutely no difference to the outcome of this match. One which ended in the right way for a county which has had a bad time over the last few days, following a heart attack for their hugely respected coach Jeff Cook. Mustard was especially strong against the spinners as he moved to his 3rd 50 of another excellent one-day campaign for him. This one had occupied 55 balls. Borthwick was equally good. Slower out of the blocks than his partner, he too moved on at a pace once the spinners were on. In total, the combined figures of the England-bound Danny Briggs and Dawson was 0 for 85 in 11 overs. Borthwick too made it to a 50, and rather surprisingly, it was the first time that he'd done that in the one-day game. His had required 60 deliveries, from which he'd struck 7 fours, and he soon added a 6 to that off Dawson, as this pair brought the target down to just 63 off the final dozen overs. They were able to do that as both left-handers batted with skill to make this a rather comfortable chase. Overall, they put on 163 runs for the second wicket in 26 overs, and by the time that they were parted, the match was already as good as won. Mustard will have been disappointed that he couldn't complete the 800 of his one-day career. Just 8 runs short of that, he pulled Tanvir off the top of his bat to Briggs. Mustard's 92 had used up only 90 balls. At the other end, Borthwick has matured enormously as a batsman this season, and all of his hard work in the nets is paying off. Unless you're a bowler, of course. This glorious shot brought him his second maximum. With only 17 needed in the best part of 6 overs, he was finally dismissed, held at long on off Tanvir again to go for an 82-ball 80. Collingwood then added a few useful runs before the winning line was crossed, although he had to step over it without Stokes, who gave the impressive Sohail Tanvir his 4th wicket as he was bowled for 3. That left it to Collingwood to scamper the winning run with 16 balls to spare to send his side to their 4th straight win in this season's competition. The margin of success was 6 wickets, a comfortable win really. The Dynamos captain Stoneman later tweeted that he was so very proud to be part of Durham Cricket Club after a tough week for those on and off the field. This was a fill-up with the victory taking them to the top of the Group B table. They now lead Hampshire by 3/4 of a point, although they have played a game more than their closest rivals.